Have you ever closed Instagram or Facebook or even turned off the news and then suddenly felt worse than when you opened it? You weren't questioning your progress 5 minutes ago, but now you're wondering if you're ever going to catch up. You weren't anxious, but now your chest feels tight. And we often blame ourselves for lacking discipline, but maybe it's just your nervous system simply responding to what you've been feeding your mind. Welcome to Incandescent Voltage, Luminous Being. My name is Tiffany, and I have been a functional medicine board certified health coach since 2017. Everything shared on this channel is intended for educational and reflective purposes only. Remember, you are the keeper of your own current, so please seek out medical or mental health support whenever needed. In Aesop's fable, The Dog and the Manger, the dog was incredibly focused on what simply wasn't for him, and it made both him and the cattle around him miserable. We like to think that comparison is happening in our minds, but I think it's only part of the story because comparison actually happens inside our body. Our shoulders tense, our jaw can tighten, the breathing can become shallow, cortisol rises, the brain, sensing threat, begins scanning for relief. And for many people, the relief arrives disguised as food. The craving wasn't created by the hunger, it was created by the threat. And this is actually not a design flaw. This is the nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do. The problem is not a lack of willpower. The problem is that we've created an environment in which the brain is constantly receiving signals that we are behind, losing, that someone else has more, or somehow we are not enough. And the nervous system can't tell the difference between a real threat and a perceived one. It responds to both with the same alarm. From a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, health requires harmony between yin and yang energies. Yin is receptive and calm and grounded and turned inward. It's the quality of genuine presence, of being fully inside your own experience rather than watching someone else's. Yin energy says, I am here, and what I have is enough, and what I am doing is enough. Yang is active and moving and doing and creating. It initiates and drives and builds, and neither is the problem. Neither yin nor yang energy is the problem. But when comparison enters the picture, yang often becomes excessive and misdirected. Instead of tending our own garden with steady and purposeful energy, we become preoccupied with everyone else's. Instead of listening inward for our own knowing, our attention is pulled outward into a field that we can never regulate because it does not belong to us. The body loses its center. The nervous system loses its anchor. And cravings often become a way or an attempt to regulate what comparison has dysregulated. We spend a great deal of time thinking about what enters through the mouth, but what enters through the eyes and ears matters just as much. Every creator you follow is sending signals into your nervous system. Every dramatic headline, every outage algorithm, every transformation photo, every perfectly edited morning routine, every luxury lifestyle presented as the standard. Your nervous system is consuming all of it. Your digital environment becomes part of your internal environment. Just as consistently eating foods that inflame the body can create physiological consequences, consistently consuming content that inflames the nervous system creates consequences too. We simply haven't named them quite as clearly. Imagine filling your pantry entirely with things that left you feeling worse every time you reached for them. Eventually, you'd stop buying them. We deserve to treat our social media the same way, and the news. After you close an app, pause for just a moment. Notice your breathing. Notice your shoulders. Notice whether your thoughts have moved towards compassion or criticism. And ask yourself, did that experience leave me calmer or more fractured? More connected to myself or further from my knowing? More grateful for my own life or more convinced that I'm somehow behind in it? Not every account deserves access to your nervous system. Following someone is permission for them to shape your inner world. So choose wisely. One of the quietest lies that comparison tells us is that life is a race and we're already losing. Someone else appears healthier or further ahead. Someone appears to have figured out the very thing that you are still working on. But your body is not responding to their life. Your body is responding to your nervous system. And if your nervous system spends its days believing it's losing a competition that does not exist, it will continue searching for relief in every available space. The path back is not more discipline. It is less noise. It's returning attention to your own field, your own season, your own timeline, your own body, which has been here all along, trying to be heard beneath the volume of everyone else's. In Aesop's fable about the dog in the manger, the dog held tightly to something that he could never actually receive. It was the hay. He couldn't actually utilize it the way the cattle could utilize it. So he wasn't protecting the hay, he was protecting the feeling of having something, even though it wasn't nourishing for him. And I think comparison does the same thing to us. We monitor other people's lives, not because their lives nourish us, but because it gives us something to hold on to, like a measuring stick, a story that we tell ourselves in our head about where we stand. But the measuring stick isn't real. And those promises are unstable. Our healing deepens the moment we stop monitoring someone else's path and start tending our own path. Comparison isn't nourishing to the body. Safety is. And I think one of the most nourishing things that we can do for ourselves today, you can literally start in the next 5 minutes. It's not even something that's going to be on your plate. It's really making a conscious choice of what you're going to allow in your eyes, your ears, and ultimately your entire environment that's going to really decide for your nervous system if it does feel safe. Before we close, I want to let you know that in the community tab tomorrow, I'm going to share some reflective questions. And you can use these for journaling or contemplation. You can even use them for deeper conversation with a therapist or counselor if that's something that feels supportive to you. There's no pressure to have immediate answers because sometimes the healing can come when you're simply making space for the questions themselves. Thank you for spending this time with me today, luminous being. If there's something in this conversation that resonated with you, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your reflections and how this information shifted the way you view yourself, your body, or the current season of life that you're in? What expanded your self-awareness as you listened in a very positive way? Remember, these conversations are not about perfection. They're about learning how to listen more honestly to ourselves with curiosity, compassion, and clarity. And if this episode supported you in some way, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need these words as well. And if you'd like to go deeper, I encourage you to check out the description where I have a link for my free 5-day email course. This is where ancient wisdom meets modern science. And this is just going to be something beautiful that can support you on your own health, nervous system, and wellness journey. And until next time, may you continue healing at the speed of safety.